Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with chapter number 3, that is machines. And in this chapter we are going to study about basic facts regarding machine, or you can say basic terms related to machines. So we are going to start with chapter machines. Now initially I just want to tell you ki what is a machine. Till now what you have studied, machine is a device which makes our work easy and we can do very quickly with the help of machines. But actually when we are talking about machines, not only these two things, basically machine is helping us out in 4 different ways. What are these 4 different ways? First one is with the help of machines. Now 2-3 terms are introduced over here: load, effort, displacement of load, displacement of effort, efficiency of machine. These terms we will discuss little later after discussing these 4 general points regarding machines. But till then I believe you are able to understand what I want to say. The first one is in lifting heavy load. Whatever we are talking about heavy objects, suppose you want to lift up car while changing its wheel. So for lifting up that car you need not to you cannot use your hands कि ये लो ऐसे करा और मैंने उठा दिया कार को. For that we are using a special kind of machine that is known as jack. So we can lift any load which is very heavier one by applying less force. That means sometimes we are using such kind of machines which can multiply your force. So what can we say over here? Machine help us to lift heavy objects, to lift heavy load or objects by applying less force. Or we can say by applying less effort. Fine. Then the second thing is the example I have given you for the lifting of car with the help of jack, or you can say turning on soil with the help of spade. कसी से जब आप soil को turn करते हैं, so that is also a kind of force multiplying. With the help of very less amount of force you can turn the soil very easily. The second thing which machine can do, it can change the point of application of effort. It can change the point of application where we are applying the force to lift up any of the object, to move any of the object. So second is it can change point of application of effort. Effort is the force which we are applying on the object to move it or to lift it. So it can change the point of application of effort. So how can we say this? When we are talking about moving bicycle, so we are applying force onto the pedals instead of applying force onto the rear and the back wheel. हम किसी भी व्हील के ऊपर फोर्स अप्लाई नहीं कर रहे हैं. वी आर अप्लाइंग फोर्स एट अ डिफरेंट पॉइंट ऑन द पैडल्स, नॉट ऑन द व्हील्स, एंड कंफर्टेबली वी आर एबल टू मूव द बाइसिकल बाय डूइंग सो. सो इन दैट केस वी आर चेंजिंग द पॉइंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन ऑफ एफर्ट. वी हैव टू मूव द व्हील्स, बट वी आर नॉट अप्लाइंग फोर्स ऑन व्हील्स, वी आर अप्लाइंग फोर्स ऑन टू द pedals. So we change the point where we are supposed to apply the effort. Okay. The third one is by change in direction of application of effort. I'm not talking about point now. Maybe we are applying force at the same point, but we are changing the direction of application of effort. Change in direction of application of effort. So how can we say this? To take out water from a well we are using pulleys. Okay, suppose this is well and we are using a bucket over here. If no pulley is there, so what we are supposed to do is we can tie a rope over here and then we need to apply force in this direction. मुझे उसको ऐसे ऊपर 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 ऐसे खींचना पड़ेगा, and that is not easy one for me to move something in this direction. But if I will use pulley, then what will happen? If we are using pulleys over here, this rope will go over the pulley and we are able to apply force now in downward direction. We can apply force in this direction now, which is comparatively easier as compared to our previous situation. So okay, so in this case what I am saying, I am changing the direction of application of effort. Maybe I am holding it from the same hand. In first case I need to move it in upward direction. Now I am moving in downward direction. I am just changing the direction of application instead of changing the point of application. Next one is to gain in speed. So in this, what example we can understand? Suppose somebody will ask you to tear a piece of cloth. That will be very difficult one, and that will take little time. Or somebody will ask you to cut a piece of cloth with the help of your hand or with the help of some other device instead of scissors. Where the scissors are helping you to do this in very efficient way and with a very greater speed as compared to some other device. So scissors are used here to gain in speed. Similar way, if we are talking about some other example where we are talking about knife, or we are talking about cutters to use or to cut some of the things which we are using. Suppose somebody will give you a piece of cardboard, okay, and if you are cutting it with the help of your scale, then it will be very difficult. But if you are using cutters over there, that will be a little quick as compared to the previous one. That means these kind of devices, these kind of simple machines we can use to gain in speed of any of the work. So basically what we have learned so far, we have learned that machines are used to lift the heavy objects or loads by applying a less effort. Machines are used to change the point of application of force. Machines are used to change the direction of application of effort or force, and machines are used to gain in speed of any work, to lifting object, to cutting something, in doing all the works. Okay, so basically machine is helping out in all these four manners. So how can we define machine then? And to define machine, let us talk about a particular definition which is given in your book. That is, a machine is a device by which we can either overcome a large resistive force, that is known as load, by applying a less amount of force, at a convenient point, by changing the point of application of effort, and which helps in gain in speed. Sometimes the direction of application of effort may also be changed. So this way you are able to define machine. I am just quickly reading out definition from your book. A machine is a device by which we can either overcome a large resistive force, that is known as load, at some point by applying a small force, by applying a less force or small force. At a convenient point means we are changing the application of effort, point of application of effort. In a desired direction, we can change the direction, or by which we can obtain gain in speed, means what can we do? We can either change the point of application of effort, or we can, initially what can we do? We can either apply less force. We can apply less force by changing the direction of application and by changing the point of application, or we can increase the speed by changing point of application, or by changing the direction of application. Means we can use any machine in either one way only. Either though it can be used as force multiplier, or it can be used as speed multiplier. We cannot use a single machine as both, as force multiplier as well as speed multiplier. What is the reason behind this? That we will learn little late. Let us talk about initially the terms related to simple machine. First we will start with the term that is known as load. Now let us talk about the terms related to simple machine. The first term is load. What is load? Load is a resistive force. Load is a resistive or opposing force. Resistive force which is to overcome. Force which is to overcome. Means this is the force which we need to overcome, and it is denoted by capital L, as it is a kind of force. So the unit for load is newtons. The unit for this is newtons. Let me explain little about this. Suppose we are talking about a big piece of stone over here, and I need to lift it up. Okay, and to lift it I use a specific kind of machine or a rod or any other device. So this I need to overcome. So this stone itself acts as a load here. वो चीज जो हमें वहां से उठा देनी है, उठा कर रखनी है, या जिसको हमें आगे चलाना है, that is known as load. Okay, suppose I am using a stick or a crowbar over here to move this stone. okay, to move this stone. So this is the resistive force which I need to overcome with the help of this machine. So this machine is used to overcome this opposing force or this resistive force. So this is known as load here. Okay, so this is known as load here. The second term is effort. What is effort? It is again a kind of force. Effort is a force which is used to overcome load. To overcome load. The force which is used to overcome load, the force which we are using to overcome load, the force which is to overcome, that is load. The force which is used to overcome load, that is effort. Here we are applying effort. आप यहाँ से इसको नीचे की तरफ push करते हो. This is effort. This is the force which we are applying, which the machine is applying or we are applying on the machine, which is transmitted over here and is used to lift up the load. So there is a difference. Load वो चीज जो आपको उठाकर रख देनी है, जो आपको एक जगह से हिला देनी है. Effort is the force which you are applying or which you are applying on the machine or directly on the object to lift up that. जो आप लगा रहे हो वो effort है. जिस चीज के ऊपर लगाना है, that is load. Okay. Then the third one is mechanical advantage. The third term is mechanical advantage. Mechanical advantage means whatever machine you are using, what is the advantage of that machine? That is mechanical advantage. This effort is denoted by capital E and its unit is also Newton because it is also a kind of force. Mechanical advantage, it is denoted by MA, mechanical advantage. And what it is? It is the ratio of load to effort of a machine. It is the ratio of load to effort of a machine. Load to effort of a machine. Okay, so how can we write it? We can write it mechanical advantage is equal to load upon effort. This is the formula for mechanical advantage. This is load upon effort. As it is the ratio of two forces, that means no SI unit is there for mechanical advantage. So mechanical advantage is purely a number. It does not has any unit. So what can we talk about more related to this mechanical advantage, or with the help of mechanical advantage, what can we talk about a machine? So let's discuss about that too, because that is very important part of this chapter, because you need it in your numericals and to explain about machines more. Mechanical advantage, as I told you, this is the ratio of load to effort. And this is given by MA, and I'm saying it does not has any unit because it is purely the ratio of two same quantities, that is two forces. This is also kind of force, this is also a kind of force. Now mechanical advantage, according to these two values, load and effort, that can be greater than 1, that can be equal to 1, or that can be less than 1. Now depending on the value of mechanical advantage, whether it is greater than 1, whether it is equal to 1, whether it is less than 1. Okay, depending on these values, we can find out the machine is the force multiplier, machine is used to change the direction only, or machine is a speed multiplier. We can find it out with the help of these values only. How can we find out if mechanical advantage is greater than 1? How this value can be greater than 1? ये कब बड़ा हो सकता है? Suppose load is 5, okay, and effort applied is 2. Okay, that means the answer will be 2.5, means it is greater than 1. So what can we see over here? Only 2 Newton of effort is applied to lift up a load of 5 newtons. मीन्स थोड़ा फोर्स लगाकर हमने ज्यादा काम कर दिया. मीन्स आर मशीन इज वर्किंग एज फोर्स मल्टीप्लायर हियर. आर मशीन इज वर्किंग एज फोर्स मल्टीप्लायर बिकॉज बाय अप्लाइंग लिटिल एफर्ट वी आर एबल टू मूव अ लार्जर लोड. बाय अप्लाइंग ओनली 2 न्यूटन वी आर एबल टू लिफ्ट अप अ लोड ऑफ 5 न्यूटन्स. मीन्स आर फोर्स इज मल्टीप्लाइड with the help of machine. So if mechanical advantage is greater than 1, the machine is acting as force multiplier. That machine is acting as force multiplier. Okay, the second one is mechanical advantage is equal to 1. Means what you are doing, to lift up load of 5 Newton, you are applying effort of 5 Newton only. That means you are getting answer as 1. Means mechanical advantage is equal to 1. Means you are applying same amount of effort to lift up same amount of load. Then what is the use of that, as you are doing in your pulleys? In that situation, we are not saying that we need to apply less amount of force. We are not saying ki, we can do the work faster, but we can apply same amount of force but in a desired direction, in a convenient direction. In that situation, the mechanical advantage is equal to 1. So whenever machine is used just to change the direction, of point of application of effort. This is not we are talking about, this is the point of application. This point of application we are not changing here, we are applying the force at this point. Only the direction in which we are applying the force at this point, that will be changed. Okay, so this is used to change in direction only. It is used to change in direction. Fine. Next one is when mechanical advantage is less than 1. What it means? It means to move only 2 newtons of load, we have to apply 5 Newton of effort. Means we are applying more amount of force. We are applying more amount of force on the machine, and machine is able to lift up a small one. Okay, then what is the benefit of this? In this case, the answer will be less than 1. Okay, the answer will be, according to this, the answer will be what? 0.4. That is less than 1. So in that situation, these kind of machines are used to gain in speed. These are used to gain in speed. The speed of work will be increased, though we need to apply a larger amount of effort to lift up a less amount of load. So what can you say? This is used as speed multiplier. These kind of machines are used as speed multiplier. So what have we learned? Mechanical advantage, it is the ratio of load to effort. As it is the ratio of two same quantities, it does not have any SI unit. It is a number only. Depending on the value of mechanical advantage, we can classify machine as force multiplier, change in direction, or speed multiplier. The machines are known as force multiplier if their mechanical advantage is greater than 1. The machines are considered or used to change in direction only for the application of effort when mechanical advantage is equal to 1. When mechanical advantage is less than 1, that kind of machine is used as speed multiplier. Fine. So when we are talking about this mechanical advantage, one more thing which I told you initially also, that we can learn with the help of this. What can we learn? Any of the machine can be a force multiplier as well as it is used to change the direction. But at the same time, it cannot be the speed multiplier. Similar way, any machine, when it is used to multiply the speed, means when it is working as speed multiplier, can be used to change the direction, but at the same time it cannot be used to multiply the force, means it cannot be used as force multiplier. In simple words, what can I say? At the same time, a machine can be force multiplier as well as change in direction, but cannot be the speed multiplier. A machine can be a speed multiplier and used to change the direction, but cannot be the force multiplier at the same time. Why it happens? Because for any of the value you studied in your maths also, whenever you are talking about, suppose हम mechanical advantage ही ले लेते हैं, you can write it as greater than equal to 1. ये तो आप लिख सकते हो, but you cannot say mechanical advantage at the same time it is greater than less than 1, equal to 1, equal to 1. ऐसा कोई भी situation होता नहीं है. So this does not hold. This can be possible. Mechanical advantage less than equal to 1, ये भी हो सकता है. So that means greater than equal to 1 का मतलब हो गया force multiplier change in direction. Less than equal to 1 का मतलब speed multiplier change in direction. This is possible, but at the same time none of the value can be greater than or less than 1. कोई एक वैल्यू या तो बड़ी ही होगी या छोटी होगी, दोनों नहीं हो सकता. So that way this cannot be a force multiplier and speed multiplier at the same time. एक बार में वो एक जैसा ही काम करेगी. Okay. Now coming on to the next term, that is velocity ratio. What is velocity ratio? As the name is suggesting, ratio of velocities. Velocity ratio. Ratio of velocities. Which velocities? It is denoted by VR. Okay, it is the ratio of velocity of effort, or you can say you can talk about this as velocity of effort to the velocity of load. It is the ratio of velocity of effort to the velocity of load. Or how can we write down in the terms of formula? Velocity of load. You can write down velocity ratio is equal to velocity of effort to velocity of load. Okay, in terms of displacement you can also write, means what can you say? Velocity is what? Velocity is displacement per unit time. It is displacement per unit time. So when we are talking about velocity of effort, so how can I write down? Velocity of effort is given by displacement of effort, suppose in time t. Okay, in the same time I need to talk about the displacement of load also. So how can I write down? Velocity of load is equal to displacement of load in time t. So if I will substitute these two values in this equation, what will be the result? Velocity ratio will be given by displacement of effort divided by time divided by displacement of load divided by time. If I'll solve it, this will be cancelled out. So velocity ratio can also be written as displacement of effort to the displacement of load. Means when a machine is working, when a machine is displacing something, so whatever will be the value of displacement of effort, how it is, you can say what is the ratio of displacement of effort to the displacement of load, that decides the velocity ratio of the machine. Now how can you understand it? Suppose this is the stone and this is the crowbar which you are using. Okay, this is acting as load, and when you are applying effort, this is pushed in downward direction. जब आप इसको उठाने के लिए ऐसे करते हो, सपोज ये मेरा क्या हो गया, स्टोन हो गया, ठीक है, ये मेरा स्टोन है और मुझे इसको यहाँ से लिफ्ट करना है। लिफ्ट करने के लिए मैं एक नीचे की तरफ फोर्स लगा रहा हूँ, तो ये जो हमारा क्रोबार का एंड है ये नीचे की तरफ मूव कर रहा है। सो दिस इज द डिस्प्लेसमेंट शोन बाय एफर्ट। यहाँ से लेकर वो यहाँ तक नीचे आया, यहाँ नीचे आने के साथ साथ उसने क्या किया, ये जो लोड है इसको यहाँ से शिफ्ट कर दिया उधर। तो मीन्स लोड में भी डिस्प्लेसमेंट हुआ और दोनों तरफ एफर्ट में भी। देखिए मेरे राइट और लेफ्ट दोनों हैंड्स मूव कर रहे हैं। जो मेरा राइट हैंड में मूवमेंट है दैट इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ एफर्ट, और सिमिलर टाइम पर जो लेफ्ट हैंड में जो मूवमेंट हुआ है दैट इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ लोड। सो बोथ आर डिस्प्लेस्ड फ्रॉम इट्स पोजीशन। So displacement of effort to displacement of load is known as velocity ratio. Again, it is the ratio of two similar quantities, so again do not have any unit. So that means velocity ratio is also a pure number. Okay, again similar way as we have done for mechanical advantage, for velocity ratio also we can say if velocity ratio of any of the machine is greater than 1, it is acting as force multiplier. Okay, it is acting as force multiplier. If velocity ratio is equal to 1, then the machine is used to change in direction. It is used to change in direction. If velocity ratio is less than 1, then it is acting as speed multiplier. Then it is acting as speed multiplier. Okay, now how can you say this is force multiplier, this is speed multiplier used to change in direction? We are talking about displacement of effort and load here. और मैंने अभी आपको एग्जांपल दिया, सपोज मुझे ये लिफ्ट करना है, इफ दिस डिस्प्लेसमेंट एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ लोड दैट विल बी सेम, अगर दोनों का डिस्प्लेसमेंट सेम है दैट मीन्स वी आर जस्ट चेंजिंग द डायरेक्शन ओनली टू अप्लाई द एफर्ट, नथिंग एल्स वी आर डूइंग विद द हेल्प ऑफ दैट मशीन. If velocity ratio is greater than 1, what is the meaning of this? Displacement of effort is greater than displacement of load. इसका मतलब यही होता है इससे, क्योंकि ये वैल्यू बड़ा होगा नीचे वाला छोटा होगा तभी हमारा आंसर greater than 1 आएगा ना. If more will be the displacement of effort than that of load, एफर्ट का डिस्प्लेसमेंट ज्यादा हो गया, लोड का डिस्प्लेसमेंट कम हुआ है, then it is acting as force multiplier. And if reverse is going on, then it is acting as speed multiplier. Speed multiplier शायद आपको थोड़ा जल्दी समझ में आ जाएगा. In that situation what can we say? एफर्ट जो है आपका उसका डिस्प्लेसमेंट कम है और लोड का डिस्प्लेसमेंट ज्यादा है. If we are talking about सीजर्स, सीजर्स के ये जो आगे वाले हैंडल्स होते हैं ये बड़े होते हैं और पीछे वाले हैंडल उसके थोड़े छोटे होते हैं. ओके, दिस वे यू कैन ड्रॉ इट दिस वे. दिस इज हाउ वी कैन ड्रॉ द सीजर्स. ऐसा कुछ आपका स्ट्रक्चर होता है सीजर्स का. सो ये वाले जो दोनों जहां आप एफर्ट लगा रहे हो इनका डिस्प्लेसमेंट काफी कम होता है एंड दीज आर वेरी लॉन्ग हैंडल्स. तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ लोड इज वेरी लार्जर वन. सो जब हम ऐसी वाली मशीन यूज कर रहे हैं, दे आर एक्टिंग एज स्पीड मल्टीप्लायर्स व्हेन डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ लोड इज मोर एज कंपेयर टू डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ एफर्ट्स. फाइन. Now coming on to next one, that is efficiency of machine. Definitely whenever we are talking about machines, so we need to talk about the efficiency of machines too. So what is efficiency of machine? Efficiency of machine is given by this symbol, that is efficiency. It is given by, efficiency is given by what? It is given by work output and work input. So how can we talk about work output and work input? This is the ratio of work output upon work input. This is given by work input. This is efficiency. So now here we need to understand these two terms also. What is work output? Output क्या? Output हमें मिला. Okay. Work input हमने कितना दिया. ठीक है. Here हमने means what? Machine. Okay. Machine से हमें क्या output मिला और machine के ऊपर initially कितना लगा, that is input. So this work output, this is work done by machine on load. Machine on load. This is work output. Load के ऊपर machine ने कितना काम किया, that is work output. And what is work input? Work done by us, or you can write down work done by effort. We are applying effort now. Work done by effort on machine. Machine के ऊपर कितना effort लगाया and that is passed on to the load. That is known as work input. Work done by machine on load. Suppose the same example I can take. This is stone, this is crowbar. How much work is done by this machine on the stone? This is work output. What effort we are applying here? What is the effort applied on the machine? That is work input. Okay, and it is not necessary that output and input is same. That is different. In case of real machines, definitely it is different. Okay, so what can we say here? Work output, that is work done by machine. This is work done by effort on machine. This is known as efficiency. If work output and work input are same, in that situation efficiency is equal to 1. That means we can say, or you can talk about efficiency percentage, so that you can find out work output upon work input into 100. Okay, that gives you efficiency percentage. So that is efficiency percentage is equal to 100%. But this is possible only when input is always equal to output. If these two are not equal, then definitely these this efficiency will not be 100%. Efficiency of the machine, that definitely decreases then. Okay, depending on the value of work output and work input. Again, similar way as we are talking about mechanical advantage and velocity ratio, efficiency is also a pure number because it is also the ratio of two similar quantities. So it's totally a number, or you can talk about its total gives you a percentage only without any unit. And what else we can talk about? We can talk about principle of machines. On which principle machines work? Ideally, if we are talking about a machine which is so-called known as ideal machine, which has 100% efficiency, then for ideal machine, what should be the principle? Principle of machine then can be written as principle of machine. If the machine is working as ideal machine, principle of machine says that, it says always work input is equal to work output. This is equal to work output. But this we are applying when we are talking about ideal machines. For an ideal machine, always the work input is equal to work output, means 100% it is giving you efficiency, and that is possible when these two are equal to each other. So always all the machines are working on this principle only. Input is always equal to output. Now we can discuss one more thing. What is the difference between actual machine and ideal machine? So called what we are talking about till now. Ideal machine is that machine which gives you 100% efficiency. Means it whatever input you are putting into the machine, that same is coming out as output. Then only it can give you 100% efficiency. But what about actual machines? Till now we have not any of the ideal machine over here in the world. Okay, all the machines on which we are working here, they are actual machines. Now why there is a difference between actual machine and ideal machine? Actual machines are those whose efficiency is less than 100%. Why their efficiency is less than 100%? Because there is a loss in energy. Why there is a loss in energy? Because of these three reasons. First one, either the parts, whatever the parts we are using in the machines, they are neither weightless or frictionless. All the parts of the machine are not weightless, not frictionless, whatever machine we are talking about. So if they are not weightless, they are not frictionless, that means efficiency cannot be zero, because if friction is there, definitely the energy will be lost, and that is in the form of heat energy. All the strings are not perfectly elastic. If the strings are not perfectly elastic, there may be damage over there because of loss of energy. Parts are not perfectly rigid. All the parts of the machine, they are not perfectly rigid. Maybe they are flexible, maybe they are not rigid at a support, they are not rigid itself. So due to that, there is always a loss of energy, and because of that, the machines on which we are working, they are not giving us 100% efficiency, and that's why they are known as actual machines, not ideal machines. Okay, one more thing is left out in our chapter, is that is the relation between velocity ratio, mechanical advantage and efficiency. What is the relation between all these three? This is a question which directly can also be asked in your paper. What is that relation? The relation between mechanical advantage, velocity ratio and efficiency. For that, we can write efficiency is given by work output upon work input. Work output upon work input. Now, what is the formula for work output and work input? Work output is what, beta? This is output, work done on load. That means there is displacement and force. Work done is what? Force into displacement. Which force we are talking about? Work done on load, means we are talking about load. So the force which we are talking about here is load, and we are talking about displacement of load here. Work input is work done by effort on machine. Work done by effort on machine. So the force which is working over here, this is force into displacement. The force which is working here, that is effort, and which displacement we are talking about? Displacement of effort. So how can we solve it? We can write it as L upon E into dl upon de. This L upon E, that we can keep here as it is L upon E into, I can write it here it as 1 upon de upon dl. I brought this dl over here just to change the configurations only, to get the desired result only. Load upon effort is given as mechanical advantage into this dE upon dl is known as velocity ratio. So we can say that efficiency is equal to mechanical advantage upon velocity ratio. This is how efficiency, mechanical advantage and velocity ratio are related to each other. This expression is used in numericals also, directly also this can be asked in your paper. So this is work output upon work input. Output is work done on load. So when we are talking about work done, that is force into displacement. Work is done on load. So this is load is the force here, displacement of load. Again, this is force into displacement. This is effort onto machine. So when we are talking about effort, the force is effort here, displacement of effort. So while solving this, we are going to get efficiency is equal to mechanical advantage upon velocity ratio. Now this is the chapter 3A. After this lever part is given, this time it is not the part of your syllabus. So read out the chapter till here and try the question answers of 3A, and in the coming video we are going to discuss about 3B.